Hello, and welcome to another episode of Feel Good Friday here on the Forever Ready Productions Facebook and YouTube channels. I'm Allison Wong. I'm filling in for Lauren this week, which is actually very fitting because we just celebrated 1 year of Forever Ready Productions Chicago. Charlie and I were so excited that we hit this milestone, and we had a lot of fun reflecting on the last year, all the projects that we worked on. And we put together a little video that we shared earlier in the week, but we want to share it with you guys again here. It's been 1 year since we announced Forever Ready's expansion into Chicago, and so much has happened since then. We worked with our first client, Above and Beyond Family Recovery Center, to create a virtual tour because it couldn't have visitors. Helping clients adapt to COVID was a huge part of our year. Speaking of adapting, we did our first ever virtual event. Yeah, our first, and it went great. A huge thanks to the Center for Enriched Living for trusting us. This led to other live virtual event opportunities with the Center for Independence, Community Health, the Frank Lloyd Wright Building Conservancy, and so many more. We even worked with a nonprofit in New Jersey. That wouldn't have happened if it weren't for COVID. Thanks, I guess. We witnessed hard work, determination, and new beginnings. Resilience to get through all that 2020 and 2021 has thrown at us. It's been a heck of a year, but we can't wait for what's to come because stories are forever and we're always ready. Like I said, it's just so fun to look back on all the projects that we've done. And it's crazy how virtual event planning and producing was a huge part of the past year for us. We did our first ever virtual event in Chicago with the Center for Enriched Living. And it, like we said in the video, it led to so many other opportunities. And we're still helping nonprofits plan virtual events and even starting to do some hybrid events. So some people want to go to events, but maybe others want to still stay online. So that has been so exciting. And that first event we did with the Center for Enriched Living was their virtual Chef's Night. So this event was usually their huge fundraiser of the year, would have hundreds of people come for food and drinks. There'd be some amazing chefs there showing off their skills. And it was always a really great time. And I know that the staff and the CEL members looked forward to it every year. So when they were, deciding to plan a virtual event, it was really a collaborative effort between the Forever Ready team and CEL's team to figure out how we do this. And we ended up having a live chef demonstration, which was so fun. We made a video for CEL that played during the event that highlighted a member's story. And we also relied on the CEL staff and their members for fun videos to play during the event that they did themselves. So there was a member that made a really great opening number, singing a song, including, other people singing with them. And they had some thank yous and some shout outs. It was just so great. And we're so excited that we're producing a second one for them this year. It's at the end of the month. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that. But first, I want to show you a recap of last year's event.
Bonsoir, everyone. It is with deepest pride and greatest pleasure that we welcome you tonight. And now, we invite you to relax, let us pull up a chair as the dining room proudly presents your dinner. Be our guest, be our guest.
One of the first things that we did, because we shut down March 13th, Friday the 13th, I will never forget. That's when COVID began for us. It was tough, but we pivoted. And lo and behold, weeks later, we were up and running with 7 days of programs from early morning till evening.
I wanted to thank the staff for putting these programs together, and I love being with my friends.
But Harriet, what's the goal? What's our goal tonight?
$51,823.
That money is going to help members learn, grow, and work.
And I think our listening and watching audience out there should know we are 100% privately funded. Our budget's $4 million. Our donations come from you. This is making an impact and really advancing our mission. Include, achieve, enjoy. Making sure that people with developmental disabilities are fully included in community. We can all relate to that. Chef Tim from Barilla, and we have been partnering with Barilla for at least 10 years, and Chef Tim has been working with our members to create our Chef's Night menu for quite a while, for at least 3 years, right? And I'd like our audience to know how important cooking is. We have what's called a universal design kitchen, where it's accessible to everyone. Everything is easy for people to access. So it's all to enable our members to be part of this community.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Harriet. Good night, everybody.
Thank you all. Good to see you.
Oh, it was so much fun. We're so excited to do it again this year. And now joining us to tell us more about CEL and Virtual Chef's Night is Adam McCormick. Hey, Adam.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. Happy to be with you.
Yeah, thanks so much for joining us. So for people who don't know, do you want to tell us a little bit about CEL, what you guys do, and who you are?
Sure. So Center for Enriched Living has been operating here in the Chicagoland area for 53 years. Our mission is really dedicated to improving the lives of people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. We serve members of all ages and all abilities. And our programs are really designed to do a few things. The first is to promote full inclusion for our members in the community. We help them achieve their personal hopes, dreams, and goals. And we really give them all the tools to create a good quality of life. So opportunities to build friendships, to grow and learn, to build new skills, to find purpose and belonging, and to even find a job if that's something that they're interested in doing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I know that the CEL members have so much fun there during the day, or if they're there in the evenings or weekends. I know that you guys have like kind of 3 pillars, 3 main programs. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So as I said, we've been operating for 53 years. When we first started back in the late 60s, the first thing that we were primarily focused on addressing was social isolation. There really were no programs at all for people with developmental disabilities back at the time. And so we were founded by 2 moms who were looking for recreational programs for their sons. And that was really the core of our mission for many years. So we offered evening and weekend programs, and that really sustained us for a long time. And as we continued to serve the disability community, we identified other ways that we could be of service to them. So the other issue that faces this community is when they graduate out of the public school system on their 22nd birthday, where they get all of these resources and all of this structured support through the school system. When they leave that, there's very little waiting for them in terms of programs or services. So there's a huge gap for this population. So we then, probably 14 or 15 years ago, we launched our Reach Day program. And that's really meant to fill this gap in our members' lives after their 22nd birthday. So we have a full day program. We have a whole range of things that they do every day. In fact, they have these different tracks that they go on based on what their interests are. We really try to work with our members and create programming for them that really is responsive to their interests and to their needs. And then the third pillar, and our newest pillar, which we launched 4 or 5 years ago, is our employment program. And again, just looking at our members' needs and listening to what their interests were, we identified that there was huge interest in finding work. There's an 85% unemployment rate for the disability community, and we really wanted to chip away at that. But there's a lot of support that they need in order to find those jobs. And again, like with everything else we do, we work with them, we listen to what kind of work they want to do, what their interests are. We're not just trying to get them into any old job. We really want to pair them with a career, a job that is meaningful to them and that they can be successful in. So we have a career academy where we work with our members, we interview them, we help build a resume for them, we build skills if they need them, and then we go out and we try to pair them with local businesses who are looking to hire. And then we even continue to support them and those businesses after they're placed in their jobs. So it's a really extensive process. And sometimes we'll work with these members for 6 months, a year, or even longer to make sure that once they get into those jobs, they feel successful. And what we found is that they are incredible employees, not surprisingly. And the partners that we work with are so overjoyed to have them on their teams. And in fact, there's a lot of research that shows that incorporating people with developmental disabilities into your workforce is positive, not only for that individual, but also for your entire team. It fosters creativity and improves morale. So it's a win-win for everybody, and we're really excited to be a part of this. And especially recently, as you can imagine right now, there's a lot of demand, both from our members who are interested in getting back into the workforce, but also from employers who right now obviously are trying to hire. So we have a lot of work cut out for us, but we continue to be focused on our mission. And that is, again, just being person-centered, working with our members, responding to what their needs and interests are, and then helping them build a rich and meaningful life.
Yeah. Well, and just even, talking about the employment program, Charlie and I were able to meet one of your members and an employment staff member from CEL about, the challenges that your members faced during the pandemic, and that already very high statistic of unemployment, it was even higher during the pandemic. So how many of your members were really impacted by that, and how have you guys kind of gotten through that together?
Yeah, it's been really challenging. And obviously, as I said, when CEL was founded, the thing that we were focused on at the time was social isolation. So it's sort of a tragic irony that 50 years later, we would be in a position now where, the social isolation is becoming more of a reality for everybody, and especially for our members. 50% of the people that we serve live in residential agencies, so sort of a group home type setting. And as we all know from reading the news, those kinds of environments were really deeply impacted over the past year and a half. They have been very restricted in what they've been able to do, how often they were able to leave. So they were really cut off, even more so than they were before. In terms of our employment members, many of them were furloughed, just like a lot of people were in the economy. The statistic that I've heard is that I think upwards of 98% of the developmental disability community was unemployed during COVID. Now that's obviously starting to improve, but it just shows you, how deeply that this population has been affected. So, we realized very early on, just like we did with Chef's Night, that we had to pivot very quickly, but we also needed to maintain this important community around our members that we have provided for more than 50 years. And so we very quickly turned all of our programs into online virtual classes, including our Career Academy. So for the past year and a half, we have offered more than 50 programs a week, 7 days a week, days, evenings, weekends. And there has been a drop off in attendance. Obviously, not all of our members were interested in doing Zoom classes. Not all of them were able to operate the tools that they needed to do that as seamlessly as others. But for those who were able to take part, it's been a really positive experience, and it's really helped them and us get through this experience together. And that's, really what our mission is all about. So, we are very fortunately moving out of this, what we've been through this last year. We are starting to reopen our doors. As you know, we have members coming back into the building, which is amazing. There's a lot of really emotional reunions happening in our building every day, which is fantastic. We're getting back out into the community. So we're not just doing things in our building, but we're going out into the community. We're doing the field trips. We take our members to volunteer. We go to museums. We do all sorts of things. So we're actually getting out and doing those kinds of things again, which is fantastic. But what's interesting is that our virtual programs continue to be something that our members want to participate in. So as difficult as the last year has been, and I think you said this earlier, we've all learned something from this experience that I think will enable us to grow and adapt in the future. So we're going to continue to incorporate our virtual programming into our mission because we know that there's a real need there. And we also think that we can serve a lot more members who are not just living in the Chicagoland area. Our goal is to ultimately serve potentially people all over the country. And I think with what we've learned and the programs we've developed online, we can really do that. So, it's been a hard year, but there's a lot of exciting things that we can look forward to in the coming years.
Yeah, definitely. Well, and I know that members are like so excited to be getting back in the building and to go out and do those field trips. I've heard that bowling is very popular. So I'm sure they're so excited about that. And as Adam was talking about their 3 programs, we're going to be highlighting all 3 of those programs at Chef's Night on June 28th. So Adam, do you want to tell us a little bit about this year's Chef's Night?
Sure. So as you said earlier, Chef's Night has historically been our biggest fundraising event of the year. It's not anything like a gala. If you've ever been to a fundraising gala, sometimes they can feel a little stuffy. Ours is really fun. It's really interactive. We invite typically more than 40 restaurants and beverage distributors to come out. They set up booths, and it's just sort of a big party where you can walk around and sample food from all these different restaurants, hear from our members, hear from our staff. Obviously, we weren't able to do that during the pandemic. And last year, when we worked with you, we had to shift our strategy very, very quickly and turn that event online. And so the challenge then is, how do you turn something that's about food and about being around people into something that is online? And I think that we created a really fantastic event last year. Then you showed some clips of that earlier. And we're really looking to build on what we did last year and learn from what we did last year for this year's event. So as you said, we are going to be featuring our 3 different program pillars in these wonderful videos that we made, featuring not only our members, but our staff and the relationships that they have with each other and that they've been able to sustain over the past year. So that's really going to be the core of this year's event, is showing those stories. We're going to have another live cooking demonstration from our friend Chef Tim from Barilla. But this year, he's going to have a couple assistants with him that we're really excited about. So we have one of our most beloved staff members and a wonderful member who's involved in our social programs are going to be in the kitchen with Chef Tim this year, helping him cook. So hopefully those of us who are on site that night will get a taste of that. And then we're going to have just some other little, we're going to have a performance by our CEL choir. I believe some of our members are going to be reading a poem. So it's going to be really fun. It's going to be a feel-good event. And then at the end of the night, and I would be remiss if I didn't say this, we are going to be doing our big raffle giveaway. So the other part of Chef's Night every year is that we give away a brand new car. So we are going to be pulling the winning raffle ticket at the end of the night for a new 2021 Ford Bronco Sport. Or if you don't want the car, you can select $30,000 in cash. So I know that's sort of a hard choice, but if you want the car, you can take the car. If you want the cash, it's all yours. So we do have a few more tickets left. Not many. They are going fast. But we do have some tickets left on our website. And you can find the link to both the event itself if you want to register to watch, or to get a raffle ticket at the URL that's on the screen right now. You do not need to be in attendance to win the car. You just need to have the raffle ticket. So something to keep in mind. But we're really excited about it, and we're excited to be working with Forever Ready again. And as we were saying right before we went live, I think that this experience has forced us to experiment with more kinds of visual storytelling than we ever have in the past. And the pieces that you've helped us make are such a beautiful demonstration of our mission and who our members are and who our staff is, and just really tells our story in such a beautiful way. So, I think even going forward, we are going to continue to use some of the lessons that we've taken from both doing this event and getting through this past year to reach more people, both our supporters and also our members.
Yeah. So many lessons learned. And we're so happy that you guys let us be involved in this event and, make stories for you to share during the event and beyond. We've just really enjoyed learning about CEL, meeting your members, meeting the staff. You guys are just truly amazing, and we love working with you. So thank you so much.
Thank you for saying that. Yeah, it's been a pleasure working with you. And as I said, we're a very tight-knit community, and the fact that you were able to come in and just capture those stories and help our members and staff open up is really a testament to your team. It's been a pleasure working with you.
Thank you. Oh, well, thanks so much, Adam, for joining us. We're so excited for Chef's Night. It's June 28th. Go to the website that you see on the bottom of your screen. Make sure you know what time it is. It's at 7, and it's going to be on the CEL's Facebook and YouTube channels. So thanks for joining us, Adam, and we'll see you at the event.
Thanks, Allison.
See ya. Oh man, I just love CEL so much. We're so happy that we get to work with them, and we're really looking forward to Chef's Night. And kind of on the same topic, food, Chef's Night, our Memphis team is working on the Still Serving series with High Ground News. They're highlighting Memphis area restaurants that are still serving throughout the pandemic and need people's support. And we're going to share with you their latest installment about the Mahogany Restaurant.
I want people to come to Memphis and be like, hey, there's Mahogany. We gotta go to Mahogany.
I am Carly McCullough.
I am Vivi Yates, and we are the owners of Mahogany Memphis. We're upscale Southern with a dash of Creole.
The signature dish is the oxtails. You kind of slow cook it over time for about 12 hours in our case. So we can get that tender, juicy oxtail that we're known for. Everybody comes from all over just for the oxtails. As far as Arkansas, Texas, Mississippi, it's like, it's booming. We was at full force in March. You know, business was booming, everything was well, and then of course it's like that, COVID hit.
The final paycheck, we had a meeting with our entire staff, and we said, hold on to this paycheck because we don't know when the next one will come. We employ about 31 people here. And so the front of the house as well as the back of the house, without the business, we did have to furlough people. We're just telling them, hold on, we were determined that we were not going to close for good. It really pushed us to be even more so creative during that time period, that down period. We were focused. We actually developed our own seasoning line.
Yeah, we worked on the cookbook.
Yes.
And we have a lifestyle brand that we're going to introduce. We also have a candle that's coming out.
Yes.
And so it gave us an opportunity to kind of slow down and to think. As soon as the city of Memphis allowed us to come back, we actually started takeout and curbside. And so we got creative with the family style meals. And we wanted to make sure that they were affordable.
Basically, we did something called Meals on Wheels. We started delivering to the elderly from Fraser all the way to Atoka.
I mean, we abided by all of the rules and regulations, and as soon as they said that we could, open up, we brought back, the folks that we could at that time, and we were ready to go. We are very fortunate physically in that, we're 2 levels and we are 5,000 square feet. So 25% for us was still a pretty good number.
It's exciting.
Yes,
we are excited. I mean, we're just outdone that we persevered.
Yes.
And that, time we were able to open the doors, people picked right back up and they came out. And we have been fortunate enough, we've been blessed enough to have repeat clients. We have new clients. We have people who are traveling to see us.
Yes.
And these are things that we couldn't even imagine for, but we are extremely excited about it.
That's what we envisioned when we came up with Mahogany Memphis. You know, people share those great moments over food, and we're a part of it, and we love that.